Welcome to Health 26 is 60. Here, we don't just talk about health. Insomnia, nightmare. This ancient secret saved me. The oppressive weight of sleeplessness clung to Daniel like a shroud. Each passing night, a fresh torment in his already weary existence. He wasn't merely experiencing a few restless nights. This was a chronic condition, a relentless enemy that had taken root deep within his being. It had been months since he'd known the sweet embrace of uninterrupted slumber, months since he'd awakened, feeling refreshed and ready to face the day. Now the dawn only heralded another day of exhaustion, a day lived in a fog of fatigue. Daniel worked as a software engineer, a profession demanding intense concentration and relentless problem-solving. His insomnia had begun subtly, a few missed hours here and there easily dismissed as the result of late nights spent debugging code. But it had gradually spiraled, consuming his nights and eroding his days. He'd tried everything the doctors recommended, sleeping pills that left him groggy and disoriented relaxation techniques that seemed to mock his inability to relax, and even expensive sleep studies that yielded little more than a diagnosis of severe anxiety-induced insomnia. The effects were devastating. His performance at work plummeted, his once sharp mind dulled by constant fatigue. He made mistakes, missed deadlines, and found himself increasingly isolated from his colleagues. His social life withered. The energy required to maintain friendships seemed insurmountable. Even simple pleasures, like reading or watching a movie, became exhausting endeavors. His apartment, once a sanctuary, now felt like a prison, its silence amplifying the relentless racing of his thoughts. His appearance reflected his inner turmoil. Dark circles perpetually shadowed his eyes. His skin was pale and sallow, and his movements were sluggish and uncoordinated. He'd lost weight, not from dieting, but from a lack of appetite, a common side effect of his sleeplessness. He looked and felt like a ghost of his former self. His family, witnessing his decline with growing concern, urged him to seek alternative treatments, to explore options beyond the sterile confines of Western medicine. His mother particularly insisted that he consult with Old Man Zen, a renowned traditional healer who lived in a remote village, nestled deep within the mountains. Daniel, skeptical but desperate, finally relented. He had exhausted all other avenues, and the thought of continuing down this path of sleepless misery was unbearable. He booked a week off work, packed a small bag, and boarded a bus headed towards the remote province where Old Man Zen resided. The journey was long and arduous, the bus winding its way through narrow mountain roads, past terraced rice paddies that shimmered emerald green in the sunlight. The scenery was breathtaking, but Daniel was too consumed by his own inner turmoil to fully appreciate it. He arrived in the village late in the afternoon, the air crisp and clean, a stark contrast to the polluted haze of the city. The village was small and quaint, its houses built of wood and bamboo, their roofs thatched with straw. Children played in the streets, their laughter echoing through the air. An elderly woman, noticing his confusion, approached him, and after a few hesitant exchanges, in broken English, directed him towards Old Man Zen's house. The house was a simple structure, indistinguishable from the others in the village. A small garden surrounded it, filled with herbs and flowers, their fragrant scents mingling in the air. Daniel hesitated for a moment, took a deep breath, and knocked on the door. A voice, ancient and resonant, called out, "Enter." He stepped inside his eyes, adjusting to the dim light. The room was sparsely furnished, containing only a wooden table, a few stools, and a small altar adorned with candles and incense. Old Man Zen sat cross-legged on a mat, his face etched with wrinkles, his eyes twinkling with an inner light. He was an imposing figure, despite his age, radiating an aura of quiet strength and wisdom. "You are Daniel," he said, his voice surprisingly strong. "I have been expecting you." Daniel was taken aback. "How did you know?" Old Man Zen smiled faintly. "The mountains whisper secrets to those who listen." He gestured for Daniel to sit. "Tell me of your troubles, young man." Daniel, feeling a strange sense of calm in the old man's presence, poured out his story. He described his insomnia, his anxiety, his failing health, his lost job, and his overall despair. He spoke for what seemed like hours, unburdening himself of the weight that had been crushing him. Old Man Zen listened patiently, his eyes never leaving Daniel's face, offering no interruptions or judgments. When Daniel finally finished, Old Man Zen remained silent for a long moment, his gaze fixed on the flickering flame of a candle. Then he spoke. "Your insomnia is not merely a physical ailment, Daniel. It is a symptom of a deeper imbalance within your spirit. Your mind is restless, your heart is troubled, and your soul is lost." Daniel felt a surge of hope. This old man understood. The doctors had treated his insomnia as a purely medical problem, prescribing pills and therapies that had failed to address the root cause of his suffering. Old Man Zen, however, saw beyond the symptoms, recognizing the underlying spiritual disharmony that was fueling his sleeplessness. "Can you help me?" Daniel asked, his voice barely a whisper. Old Man Zen nodded. "I can guide you, but the healing must come from within. You must be willing to confront your demons, to release your attachments, and to embrace the present moment." He explained that Daniel's insomnia was a manifestation of his inability to quiet his mind, to let go of his anxieties and worries. He was constantly replaying past mistakes, anticipating future disasters, and judging himself harshly. This relentless mental chatter prevented him from finding peace, from surrendering to the restorative power of sleep. Old Man Zen prescribed a series of treatments, a combination of herbal remedies, meditation practices, and spiritual exercises. He prepared a special tea made from mountain herbs, instructing Daniel to drink it every evening before bed. He taught him a simple meditation technique, focusing on his breath to quiet his racing thoughts. He also assigned him daily tasks such as tending the garden, sweeping the house, and helping the villagers with their chores. These tasks, Old Man Zen explained, are not merely busy work. They are opportunities to connect with the present moment, to find joy in simple activities, and to cultivate a sense of gratitude. Daniel followed Old Man Zen's instructions diligently, immersing himself in the rhythm of village life. He woke up early each morning, helped prepare breakfast, and then spent hours working in the garden, weeding, planting, and watering the herbs and flowers. He found a strange sense of peace in the repetitive tasks, a quiet satisfaction in nurturing the living things around him. In the evenings, he drank the herbal tea, its earthy aroma filling his senses, and practiced the meditation technique Old Man Zen had taught him. At first, his mind continued to race, his thoughts bouncing from one worry to another, but gradually, with practice, he learned to observe his thoughts without judgment, to let them pass like clouds in the sky. He began to experience moments of stillness, of inner peace that he had not known were possible. He also spent time talking to the villagers, listening to their stories, learning about their lives. He discovered a sense of community, a feeling of belonging that he had been lacking in the city. He realized that his anxieties and worries were not unique to him, that everyone struggled with challenges and difficulties. But the villagers faced their hardships with resilience and grace, finding strength in their relationships and in their connection to the land. Slowly, gradually, Daniel began to heal. The dark circles under his eyes faded, his skin regained its color, and his movements became more fluid and energetic. He started to sleep longer and more deeply, waking up feeling refreshed and revitalized. His mind became clearer, his thoughts more focused, and his emotions more balanced. One evening, as he sat with Old Man Zen, watching the sunset over the mountains, Daniel felt a profound sense of gratitude. "I don't know how to thank you," he said. "You have given me back my life." Old Man Zen smiled. "You healed yourself, Daniel. I merely guided you. The power to heal resides within each of us. We simply need to learn how to access it." He explained that Daniel's journey was far from over, that the healing process was a lifelong endeavor. He urged him to continue practicing the meditation techniques, to maintain his connection with nature, and to cultivate a sense of gratitude for the blessings in his life. Daniel stayed in the village for several more weeks, continuing to learn from Old Man Zen and to immerse himself in the simple rhythms of village life. He realized that his insomnia had been a blessing in disguise, a catalyst for profound personal growth and transformation. It had forced him to confront his demons, to release his attachments, and to embrace the present moment. It had led him on a journey of self-discovery, a journey that had ultimately led him to a deeper understanding of himself and of the world around him. When the time finally came for him to return to the city, Daniel felt a sense of sadness, but also a sense of excitement. He was eager to apply the lessons he had learned, to create a more balanced and fulfilling life for himself. He knew that he would face challenges and difficulties, but he also knew that he had the inner resources to overcome them. He returned to his job as a software engineer, but he approached it with a new perspective. He worked diligently, but he also made time for relaxation, for exercise, and for social connection. He practiced meditation every day, cultivating a sense of mindfulness and presence. He maintained his connection with nature, taking regular walks in the park and spending weekends hiking in the mountains. He also made a conscious effort to cultivate gratitude, appreciating the simple blessings in his life: the warmth of the sun, the taste of good food, the laughter of friends, the love of family. He realized that happiness was not a destination, but a journey, a process of appreciating the present moment and cultivating a sense of inner peace. And most importantly, he slept. He slept soundly and deeply, night after night, waking up refreshed and revitalized, ready to face the challenges and opportunities of each new day. His insomnia, once a relentless torment, was now a distant memory, a reminder of the power of healing, the importance of balance, and the transformative potential of the human spirit. Years passed. Daniel continued to thrive, both personally and professionally. He excelled at his job, earning promotions and accolades. He built strong relationships with his colleagues, his friends, and his family. He remained committed to his meditation practice, his connection with nature, and his cultivation of gratitude. He never forgot Old Man Zen, the wise healer, who had guided him on his journey of self-discovery. He visited the village regularly, bringing gifts and offering his assistance. He learned more about traditional medicine, studying the properties of herbs and the principles of energy healing. One day, Old Man Zen called Daniel to his side. "My time is near," he said, his voice weak but clear. "I have taught you all that I can. Now it is your turn to share your knowledge with others. Daniel was deeply saddened by the news, but he also felt a sense of responsibility. He knew that he had been given a gift of healing, and that he had a duty to share it with the world. After Old Man Zen's death, Daniel decided to leave his job as a software engineer and to dedicate his life to helping others overcome insomnia and other stress-related ailments. He opened a small clinic in the city, offering a combination of traditional herbal remedies, meditation instruction, and lifestyle counseling. He drew upon his own experience, sharing his story with his patients, offering them hope and encouragement. He taught them the importance of balance, the power of mindfulness, and the transformative potential of the human spirit. And he slept. He slept soundly and deeply, night after night, knowing that he was making a difference in the world, one sleepless night at a time. His own journey had come full circle, from a place of darkness and despair to a place of light and purpose. He had transformed his suffering into service, his insomnia into inspiration, and his own healing into a legacy of hope for others. His reputation as a healer grew, spreading throughout the city and beyond. People from all walks of life sought his help, desperate for relief from their sleeplessness and stress. Daniel treated each patient with compassion and understanding, recognizing the unique challenges and circumstances of their lives. He developed new techniques and approaches, combining traditional wisdom with modern science. He studied the latest research on sleep stress and mental health, integrating it into his practice. He also collaborated with other healthcare professionals, creating a holistic approach to wellness that addressed the physical, mental, and spiritual needs of his patients. His clinic became a sanctuary, a place of healing and hope, where people could find respite from the stresses of modern life and rediscover the path to inner peace. Daniel's legacy extended far beyond his own lifetime, inspiring countless others to pursue their own journeys of self-discovery and to share their gifts with the world. And all of it stemmed from one man's battle with sleeplessness, a battle that ultimately transformed his life and the lives of so many others. Health 2660. Thanks you for listening. We'll see you in the next video. And until then, be kind to yourself.